The bottle that you see here is standing on a vortex of the consciousness grid of the inner earth people. I'm doing research on these grids at this moment because they are our family, and I'm trying to understand more of their role and function in the whole process of, you can say, evolution of human consciousness and that of Gaia. So I'm here in the Sedona area, found this vortex, and I'm trying to communicate with them. I am very, very curious what their message is, and you have to realize that they live into a different, you can say, consciousness construction, which is much higher than ours. And they have isolated themselves for a reason. And I am curious whether they're willing to communicate, because so far, this is not the first one that I'm sitting on, so far I haven't been very successful, to be honest, in the communication. But it's always worth to try. So realize that we do not have anything like an experienced deep connection. It is literally an exploration. And there is no better place to explore than sitting on a vortex. It is not common for us to communicate with somebody from your world. You may say that over time, quite a big gap has been created between our worlds. And that gap is in fact so wide that very rarely do we communicate with your world. We do communicate with other worlds, like what you would call the third one, but basically we stick to those whose frequency range, whose, you can say, his consciousness is actually more in resonance with ours. And we need to do that because we are very aware of the tremendous effect that the energies of your world has on ours. And we are also very aware that we are actually, you can say, due to the lower numbers at the short end of the stick if we are not careful. So we are trying to the best of our ability to maintain our, you can say, consciousness, that what we would consider to be our culture. In that sense, it's not different from what many indigenous people in your world are doing, trying to maintain their culture, not giving it away to the power or the overwhelming presence, you can say, of other cultures. We believe in the same way as your indigenous people that every culture, if you want, every consciousness construct, if you want, has a right to exist, and actually has to exist, or it would not have existed. We believe it's part of the diversity in which human consciousness can express itself. And we and you are exploring what that means. You are, in your way, doing the best you can to make sure that you maintain your culture, even though many people would not define it that way. So we do the same, and so do indigenous people, and so do people of other worlds. We have not a complete overview of what that all means. The only thing that we feel is that by living, or you would say incarnating into a certain community, you're part of that. And yes, we have a choice to stay or not to stay, but we all feel that we have chosen to be part of this world, as you would call it, this second world, that we would like to continue to do that, to maintain it, to induce its value in the totality. We have knowledge that you don't have. Yes, you have knowledge we don't have. And every aspect of knowledge to some degree is needed in order to create what you would call a new world. We call it basically the evolution of the system. We fulfill a role in that, you fulfill a role in that, and others fulfill a role in that. So the most important aspect is actually to honor each other, to honor the differences, not to try to make it all into one. And we have noticed that human beings from your world believe that they have the only right approach and tend to, you can say, preach to others how to live, what is the right thing to do. And we invite you to stop doing that. We invite you to begin to honor differences, to let go of your fears for that what is different from you. We invite you to learn to listen to others, because every angle that people in whatever world have about this particular world that you call Gaia is important. All those pieces are part of the puzzle. And if you want to understand the puzzle in the long run, you need every piece. We are aware of that, even though we can't see the total picture. But we begin to understand very clearly that we need to contribute with our pieces to the whole. And that's why we are open for communications like this, knowing that through communication we can stimulate each other to not give up our own unique pieces of the whole, our own unique colors that colors the pieces of the whole. The more we honor each other, the more we also honor ourselves. And in doing so, we understand better that we have chosen to live in a certain community, in a certain world, to contribute to the whole. We can connect well enough with your way of thinking to know that you believe that all four worlds are essential for creating a new one. We would have denied that not all that long ago. But due to the different communications that have come into existence between worlds, between different groups, and now we are part of the alliance with the She and other inner Earth people, we begin to understand increasingly that there is a truth. There is a truth in the fact that we are all needed in order to move forward. We have to be honest with you. We do not know how to do that. The only thing that we do know is to be who we are, in the same way as you know how to be who you are, at least to a certain degree. So how to really collaborate in such a way that we can create a field as a foundation for a new world, we don't know yet. But we are very willing to explore with you. But we will explore in such a way that we are not going to give up our uniqueness. And we invite you not to give up your uniqueness. But at the same time, be honest about what is working and what is not working, where you are in alignment and where you're not in alignment. Because we feel, and maybe it is a form of judgment, but we feel that many people in your world are not in alignment with themselves. The fact that we have chosen to live in a certain, what you call, conscious construct doesn't mean that we have to limit ourselves to that. We use that choice, being in that conscious construct, as a contribution to the whole. That's how we want to see it nowadays. And that is also why we want to communicate with you, why we want to communicate with others, and why we want to share not to give up our uniqueness. And we repeat that. We repeat it many, many times because, as you may understand, we need to repeat it because we have our fears of losing our identity and then not to be longer be able to contribute to the whole. We want to contribute to the whole. We hope that enough people in your world want to contribute to the whole. And that whole we call Gaia. We want to contribute to the process of evolution. We begin to understand that we all came here as co-creators to help her. And we all in our different worlds create a piece of an aspect of Gaia. And all those pieces, and now we repeat ourselves, but we think it's important, all these pieces are needed. We are willing and we are more ready than we have ever been. Is there uncertainty amongst us? Yes, absolutely. Is there uncertainty in your world? We can feel and sense that, we know it. Do we sense in other groups uncertainty like the she? Yes, we do. But we feel that there is a commitment to be willing to contribute to the whole so that the whole can shift to higher and higher frequency, to that what you call the fifth or the new world. While initially we were very worried, you may call that, now we are increasingly excited. We begin to get a sense of the potential of the future. We are aware that you connect to different portals that opens up that possibility. And from our end, we will begin to do that also. We do not have that same connection to the portals that you have. So we hope that in the future we can communicate with each other about it so that we can explore these completely new energies because they are as new for us as they are for you. And in that exploration we can learn about each other, learn to communicate and to collaborate better, and in that process developing the new energy fields that are needed for the new world. We are excited about that. So the fact that we open ourselves for you in this moment is a sign that we are truly willing to contribute. We hope that this is the beginning of more communication, because we need the communication in order to explore this new area, this new field together. Know that we come from a place of unconditional love to the best of our ability. We know you do the same, and we hope that we can build up this love field in such a way that we truly support each other. We thank you for the opportunity you have given to share this with you.